Sawubona Slender. Sawubona Sithanda Sam. Thank you for coming through. Thank you, Angie. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Slender, awuthi ngikuinvite dali wami. Ngiyaphila Sithando, wena unjani? Hi Jerome. Hi. Sawubona Vianney, sawubona. I'm actually looking for my host for the evening. Where? Kuthiwa she's offline. She's offline. Where? Uthi ngisesipano Slender. Ngisahlezi nabantu. I can't come through the panel. Oh, no problem, Sithandwa Sam. No problem. Ngiyazwisisa dali. Nisebenza kamnandi lapho ubabulise lapho esipanini. Batshela ukuthi sithi sawubona sanibonani. Vale sadumela. Who's our guest host? I can't get hold of our guest host, Slender. Ngibathe ngi-invite i-guest host yethu Slender and then kuthiwa u-offline, yabo. So kwamele silinde because essentially the book review is being done by our guest host. So mhlambe usesendleleni usashayela yabo. But uzofika maduzane. Guys please follow lapho tephani screen. Let's do the things that gets the things to be did. Nilahlele nama-gift as we wait. Sawubona coach. Thobela wareshu, evening to you too. Usimpiwe uthi, do you deliver outside of South Africa? Simpiwe, not yet. I'm actually doing my research, my darling. I've had a lot of offers to take my book throughout Africa and the rest of the world, but yabona nje abantu badoji. You always have to read the fine print. You always have to discern, you know. And yeah, so not yet Simphiwe Nkosi, not yet Sithando Sam. Sizofika lapho maduzane, don't worry. Ngentando kaNkulunkulu. But yeah, uSlender uthi don't stress. Oh, thank you. Bantu benkosi, please, my darlings, ngicela nishare i-live on your WhatsApp statuses. Invite friends, bring them through. It's a book review. Those who love reading, those who collect books, you know. You can even give this book of mine as a gift for wedding anniversaries. Imishado, bridal showers, engagements. Nanoma yini uSimphiwe uthi I love reading. Yay! Yes, Queen. You're in good company. Oh, ngiyabonga Slender. You are such a darling. Slender is out here sharing the live all over. Nkosi kubusise Slender, Sithando Sam. You're such a darling. Simphiwe Nkosi, thank you so much for coming through. uSimphiwe, she loves to read. Oh, sanibonani Mphoza, sawubona Dali, sawubona Rulani is here. You're all welcome. We are waiting for the host. So the title of my book is When Married Life Lifes You, Take Your Power Back. And I'm not the host for the book review. We need to hear from her. Uguti, how did she find the book? She bought the book. She read the book. I need to get the critique from her. What is she giving a yay? What is she giving a nay to? Yeah, what into zinjalo nje. Njabulo sawubona. For those of you who are interested, Brenda, welcome, darling. Brenda Dikhale. Moses Ngobe, RTC, welcome. I appreciate all of you coming through. Mpoza, my queen, sawubona Dali. Thank you for coming through. So for those of you who want to know, my book is currently available in South Africa. Jolaka Sidumela, promise. Hi, Peli. Dumela Muratua. Okay, so my host just sent me a message utu already, so I hope uzoza ku live, you know. Mpoza, welcome. Francis Moeti, Dumela. So for those of you who don't know, igama lami lokuqala ubekezela, right? And I got that name from my mother. She has got 2 daughters. I'm the oldest of 3 daughters. Baba Zalibam, welcome, Mrs. N. And so she decided to go to Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23, that speaks about the fruits of the Spirit. Abazalibam abafundisi. So she skipped love because she didn't want any one of the children feeling like, ay, bona bathandwa, yabona lonto. Bese mina ngathola igama lakabekezela. Shembe. The challenges that come nokubekezela nkosi. Please, no matter how cute you think it is, please do not ever. Oh, our host is here. I'm so excited.
Hello.
Sawubona Dali, unjani?
Ngiyaphila. I'm in the car, so please don't mind.
I shared with Evangelist Faith Sithole and Musa Kamthwet. Oh, Thixo. Awu Slender, uThixo akubusise, usomandla, sonini nganini, wonke umuntu. Ah! Hey, gorgeous!
Hello.
I'm so excited. You look amazing.
Ngiyabonga.
Awusemuhle Nkosi yami. Because everyone's asking me, where's the host? Ngithi hawu Nkosi yami, I guess impeni chance host wenkosi.
Oh, you know, I must apologize. It's just the day I've had. But as you can see, I'm in the car. I was like, I'm not gonna be late. I rather join, and I stopped a bit, and then when my sister comes back, usakazoba a tripod.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing this. You know, I love how you entertain my madness. Uvele nje uze on board. It's all right, we're doing a review. Let's go. You're so flexible. You're sweet like that.
Thank you.
You're not like, oh no, can I please check my diary? I need to squeeze you in. It's fully booked for the next year.
No, I think that's something, you know, I understand, and I really see busy. I won't lie, see busy. But we need to also accommodate things outside of the hustle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
queen. Yes, my darling. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the flowers. Ah, Uslenda is such a darling. Guys, Ngicela, please do what Slender is doing. Uslenda uthumela ma rose awu 11. Uslenda is sharing the live left, right, and center everywhere. We love you, Slender. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You are such a darling. We appreciate you. Uslenda, leso sikhathi, she's sitting with colleagues. Babhizi nomsebenzi, but Uslenda is multitasking. Please be like Slender. Slender supports her sisters. Slender is a queen. Slender shows love. Slender is the one.
Yeah,
Please
that's
follow suit.
important.
Ngicela nje nifollowe kuma footstep wakaSlenda Nkosi yami. Ngiyacela uSlenda ulayikile i-live. Wozani nonke. Following her footsteps. Usimputi, yes queen. Welcome, welcome Rosemary. Welcome each and every single person. We are having our live. It's about my book. And as you all know, Mina, I work in my PJs. Uthi ngaze ngashaya. Hi, Boslenda. Shy for who? My gorgeous queen, wazaphela, wazakhuphuka lapho. As soon as you're done with work, Slenda, you must come and join us, my darling.
Yes, please do.
She is so sweet. She is such a darling, Nje, yabo.
You can tell.
And you know what I love, ne? My queen sister, ukuthi we are squashing this thing, yokuthi abafazi bayazondana. Please, people must stop saying that. No. Abafazi abazondani. Mina ngiyazi ke leyo. I can't even relate to it. I grew up in a house with my mother and two younger sisters. It was all love and light. Angiyazi
Yes.
leyo ukuthi abafazi bayazondana. Wherever I go, I connect with my tribe. It's my vibe. Siyathandana. We are queens. We fix each other's crowns without telling the world that our crowns are crooked. So no, it must stop.
It must stop. And remember the other time when I was talking to you, and then I was told, Guti, I have what's it? A female bias. And to me, and I'm like, what do you mean a female bias? They're like, no, we're now you all about the females. And I was like, but then I never. It's natural. I'm female. What was that's the most natural, you know. And that's the thing that I never get. Guti, obviously I'm female, so the first person or gender or I attract or click and get along with is female.
Exactly, my queen. Oh, hi, Lala Joy. Lala Joy says hi to everyone.
Hello.
Evangelist Faith is here and she's wondering what is this all about? Evangelist Faith, welcome. Slenda invited you to my book review. This is about a book that I have written, an award-winning book. It's titled When Married Life Lifes You, Take Your Power Back. And the host, I'm actually hosting the host. I'm not the host. The host is my queen, Nompumelelo Moshoeshoe. She's a certified life coach. She is a businesswoman, a business strategist, the show host, of which we just enjoyed such a beautiful session from 3 to 4 lapha kuBlomanati Radio, Ibloma Business Development. So please put it in your alarms. Make sure that you join. Make sure you are there. We learned so much. We had so much fun. The music is always on point. It's proudly South African with a young flavor and a twist. Right? Exactly. When I simpio to hosting the host. Yes, girl. Yes, queen. I'm hosting the host apa. Injalo wena dali wami. So our host uyanibulisa lapho Umpume M. Please follow her. Please gift her. Usimpiwe nang naye ngimfakile nomphoza. Guys in, please come through. Let's have a beautiful discussion. You don't have to be married to buy my book.
Yes.
You can gift others. You can be engaged. You can be divorced. You can be looking for love. You can be jollaring. Agna stress. Yabo. Please follow. I do follow back. Let's do this. So Ulala Joy Uti is her session every day, Queen of Hearts. No. So our host, Nompumelelo Moshoeshoe, her Bloma Business Development Show on Blomanati is always on Fridays from 3 to 4. So please set your alarm, 3 to 4. Be there. Any business questions you have, she gives advice, she gives strategies. You know, for young moms with newborns, she can tell you which businesses you can invest in, the things that you can do if you're a young person and you have graduated and you're struggling to get a job. Please speak to her. She's a certified life coach as well. She can help you with your mental wellness and give you directions and advise you accordingly. So yes, please. She's even popped the times there in the comment section. 5 to 4 every Fridays. Bloma Business Development. Uti, thanks, Lala. Oh, you're welcome, Lala Joy. Thank you, Nish, for coming through. You are welcome, darling. We really appreciate everyone that is here. Now, a lot of people will wonder, Uti, This one, she's always in PJs. What's going on, guys? I work from home. I am most creative in my PJs. I enjoy it. It is the best thing ever. And I
Yeah.
wanted to talk for my filter, so I don't even have to do makeup. So all is good and well.
I should have put on a filter. Nah. How?
How but now muhle guys when we natural beauty outing in a filter. How? Tabang, welcome, crazy girl, friendly KG. So, my queen, over to you, my beautiful host. Umpume M. Wait, Usimpo Utin. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm so proud of you, sis. We need more
Yes.
black writers, more so female. Ah, hey,
So
Usimpo wants me chopping onions during the people. How, Simpiwe? How, girl? Girl. Thank you so much, my queen. I really appreciate that. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. I am because of you, and you are the sweetest. Thank you so much. Vamuhle. Ladies and gents, if you don't already know, please check out my videos, right? So I'm also a show host of The Fix with Bridget Majuda every Sundays. Hey, from 9 a.m. until 10, right? And this Sunday, it's going down. Yabona iqhawe lemigede nemali yeyipoki siphethe yena po ubaba upyramid Blose is gonna be there umthethwa yay lalela unyambose he's gonna be doing the things he's flying all the way from Durban to come through to our Soweto studios. That is how much love he is coming through for the Blommer family, so please show respect, be there when he's got his lives, follow him, and make sure you keep that appointment. You come through on The Fix. What you do is just go through my videos. There's a link there that you can live stream. You click on it, you download the app, the Zeno app, then you search for Blomanats Radio and you tune in. Okay? And then you share that link with Wonk Umuntu. Please keep time, 9 a.m. sharp. This Sunday, it's going down. Uslanda uthi I'll be there noma kanjani. Ngiyakuthemba Slender my queen.
yeah.
Slender my queen wena. Noma kanjani girl, you're the one. Lala Joy, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much, my host, for sharing about The Fix Sundays, 9 to 10 a.m. Ziyakhala. And those of you angigqini lapho phela ngiphethe amaqhawe this Sunday. Kuyashisa kuyababa ku-hot. Pastor November, Prophet November, nimazi nithanda nosis Jokobeti, the character he plays when he dresses up, it's going down. Lalela. We're going to be talking spiritual alignment. We're going to be talking divine timing. We're going to be listening to their journeys, how they've been guided spiritually, what has helped them. You can also learn from them. Ziyakhala. You don't want to miss this. My queen, when it's in, host yam.
I definitely Mangibona, when I saw the lineup, I was like, hey, this deserves an actual being in the studio. Like,
Yes,
no, I
come
need
through, come through. You must come through, my queen. Sithatha ithombe with amaqhawe yazini. Usimpiwe yabuza uthi, where does The Fix show? Okay, The Fix is an online radio station, my darling. It's a show that plays on Blomanati Radio, right? Which is online. But the studios are based in Orlando East. Okay. So you need to download the app. It's called Zeno Radio. You download it. You can find it on Google Play Store. And then you search for Blomanati Radio there. And then you tune in. But if you go through my videos, the link is there. So once you've downloaded, you just click on the link. Once you've downloaded the Zeno Radio app, you click on the link. And nje uzoyibamba kamnandi wena dali wami. And the Zeno Radio app is yellow. Ungadideki sithandwa. Yabo? Uthi, oh, thank you. Will do. Yes, my darling. Will do. My host. Ithi kuyashisa. Ngiphethe wena indlovukazi. You're opening the way to the kings that are coming on Sunday. Uthini na? Huh?
Yeah. You know, like it's actually such an exciting time, and Ngati this January, nje abantu they hyped up, especially no, I won't lie. From this past week, people, the levels. There was a point when we entered into the new year, ne? ngathi
Yes.
ama-vibration wayehla nje kancane abantu were like yes ku-2024 but now people are so hyped and the vibration is so high, like izinto ezenzakalayo, the connections, just everything, the creativity, it's such a great time. I love it. I'm enjoying just the space that people are more open to doing stuff and sharing and being part of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that too, my queen. We've got Uti. Thanks, Linda, for the invite. Those are also joining panel. Sam. Welcome, welcome. Come through.
Yeah.
Zithandwa Zam. This is a beautiful book review that we are having. We're multitasking. We are radio queens. Me and my host, our chair, we are multitasking. We stay doing the most for our communities. We're community builders, prayer warriors, family lovers, sisterhood. This is what we're all about. We fix each other's crowns without telling the world that the crowns are crooked. We spread love and light wherever we go, in every area of our lives. My queen, please ngicela ubanike i-CV yakho nje i-taste. Uthi cha ufafaze kancane.
Please,
Yabo?
please angangenzi kanjalo. Angangenzi kanjalo. She's making me shy, but I think specifically for this, actually, let me just start right the line.
Yebo Sithando, usuyiqalile uyivulile.
So I'm going to get the copy of the book, my copy, as soon as I get home. I'm just 10 minutes away. I apologize once more. I was stuck in traffic. However, this book, as ashilo, like it's not really, when I read it first, when she first told me, you'd assume the title is about marriage or just about married people, like those traditional married or marriage books. But what I liked is the creativity of the character.
Yes.
Papa. So I'm gonna touch on this, and I'm gonna read. So how the whole live is gonna go. As soon as I get home, then I will start reading just a few paragraphs from the book, and then I'll ask a question. We can have a discussion. So please, the other panelists, let's jump in, because for me, when I read it, as much as I am married, but then it came across as a book of Guti, in whichever situation you're in, right? Life happens.
Yes.
Yes, it happens, and you need to get to a sorry about that. And you need to get sorry about that. And you need to get sorry about that. And you need to get
yenze njani network Sithando Sam? Okay, so our host is experiencing technological challenges. Shireen, thank you for coming through. Please do not be deterred. Sisemzansi, Siphila is Jumanji. Life happens. Asimnikeni chances, she's going to be back. But please, please, please tap that screen. Keep doing the things that gets the post to be done. Come through, if you want to join the panel. We are having a book review. So even though I open the live, I'm actually not the host of the live. Our host will be back. So she bought my book. She is part of our radio family. We are radio girls at Blomanati Radio, your ultimate choice wherever you are. And she's read the book and she wanted to do her review. She didn't want to email it to me. She didn't want to put it on social media and tag me. She felt like, everyone does that. It's the easiest thing to do. So she actually wanted to do a live, a live TikTok book review. So I'm quite excited about that. She will be rejoining us soon. She's currently on the road. Yes, Simpure, that is correct. She did say 10 minutes she'll be home. Umpo Uti, wow, how thoughtful. Yeah, she's very sweet. She's very thoughtful. So just for me to tell you more about our host, she's actually born in royalty. She doesn't like me saying these things, but she is a queen in the true sense of the word. This is why I honor her and always say Ndlovukazi when I speak to her, out of respect, out of honor for her title, for her bloodline, for her lineage, for her family, namakhosi wonke that stand behind her, you know? So I will always say Ndlovukazi. I will always say my queen out of respect, you know? Always honor. Give honor where it's due, right? That's how my parents raised me. So she's also got an international presence. She's very humble, so sweet. She'll never tell you these things, which is why I love nginixelele ezi zinto ngaye. She's such a darling. She's a queen in every sense of the word. She will mention your name in rooms that you never thought you would be present in, right? She always speaks well of her queens, of her sisters, of her, you know, of her people, right? Usimpiwe, it's Uti, I love how you say Ndlovukazi. It's just so heartwarming. Ngiyabonga Simphiwe Sithando. So because I was raised in a family with just girls, sisters, I've always been about the sisterhood. You will notice if I meet you for the first time, I'll always say my queen, my sis, because that is just how I have been raised. That is the energy, that is my vibration levels. I'm all about love and light. Le nto yokuthi hey women hate each other kwasho kwaqima angiyazi angifuni ukuntshela amanga shem angiyazi. Yes, we'll have differences. Yes, we'll argue, you know, but singabantu, we need to do the things that's right, you know. We as women need to take care of each other. We bring life, we nurture. These are the things that we should be doing, you know, naturally. You understand? When a sister is in need, you need to be a sister, not just in need, but a sister indeed. And be there and offer help and offer assistance and give love, you know, and be supportive. Don't judge a sister. You never know what are they going through. You don't know their pains, you don't know their struggles, you don't know how they landed in the situation that they're in. Don't judge a sister. And enye into futhi inxeba lomfazi alihlekwa. Nkosi yami. Anyway, inxeba lomuntu nelendoda nje alihlekwa or elengane. You don't laugh at anyone for any reason whatsoever. Ngoba people are going through the most, and you don't know if by you laughing, if that will trigger the person to take their life. So always be kind, you know? Always ngiyacela nje, always be kind, always listen. You don't have to understand why that person is going through, but just offer support, a word of encouragement, a smile, a hug, you know, a silent prayer. It's said that women normally see each other as competition. They would rather support a man even. Oh, yazi Simphiwe Sithandwa Sam. Way. The books that I could write, maybe I should actually write those books following this one. But at the end of the day, Sithandwa Sam, we as women need to understand ukuthi impilo iqala and futhi igcina ngathi. You understand? So the sooner we learn to be unified, work as one, support each other, the better. And I agree with you, Simphiwe, it makes no sense at all. Umpo uthi, true that, sisi, asibonge Mphoza, asibonge Sithandwa Sam. So one thing about me, I will always tell you, I am not an expert in anything in life. I do not call myself an expert. Many people refer to me according to how they are associated with me, right? Those who know me from the author community will say author Bridget M, right? Those who know me Sikhule Sonke, they will say Bree, they will say B, they will say Begi, they will say Begezela, Nanoma Yin, right? I've worked with people far and wide, different types of jobs. I've worked as a waitress at Spur even when I was still in varsity. While I was still there, I was also an assistant at Queen's Park and Brooklyn Mall while I was still studying at the University of Pretoria. You understand? And it's not like I needed the money. No, VW South Africa was paying for my fees. You understand? So VW South Africa was paying for my fees and all of that. It's not like I had to work bone Nathan, bend over backwards, so to speak. But I've always had this thing of multiple streams of income, right? Also, I didn't grow up with parents that gave me money because they have money. No. They were teaching me lessons of how to be responsible and how money is earned. So I didn't get any handouts. Yabon. I cannot tell you people of any sob stories about being poor, how I went from rags to riches. Aisha, uNkulunkulu angangishaya nje angishaqaze because that would be an absolute lie. So I can't relate with those stories, right? We always were well taken care of. I cannot say my parents were wealthy or whatever. No, we had a good roof over our heads. We never went to bed ngendlala. Unless if choice yami, ngicasulekile nje ngingakwazi nokudla or if mhlambe bengifastile, Hayi ukuthi bokunganakudla ekhaya. There was always bread. And not just ukuthi bokunesinkwa kuphela. There was always multiple. What do we need to support each other? Nangu makhabo. Oh, my wellness coach is here. Yes, yes, Queen. Yes, yes. What's my wellness coach? Umakhabo, we need to support each other. Yes, where we fail is not knowing what that looks like day to day. Oh, my coach. Come through, my wellness coach. Waza, Makhabo Dlomo, waza, my darling. My queen. So true, everything you've said. Thank you so much for everyone that is throwing the gifts, the hearts, the likes, the shares. Oh, Nkosi yami, ngiyabonga kakhulu. So yes, as I was telling you, Nongen, right? Mpume, are you coming back? Are you coming back, my host? Yay! I'm so excited. You are back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hi. Sure.
Welcome back.
Yes. Sorry about that. Someone
It's
called
fine.
me and it just messed up everything.
In network, ne?
Yeah.
Guess who's here with us? Our wellness coach.
I saw. Guys, I always tell everyone, Umakhabo, like, please, if you are looking for a coach, please, guys, she's the one. She's the one. I don't even want to lie.
Absolutely. Ngicela nimgifteni, guys. Nimgifteni. Give her a warm welcome. Makhabo, my coach, please unmute yourself. How are you doing?
Good evening. Hello.
How are you, lovely? How are you, gorgeous? How are you, my queen?
I'm good. Thank you so much, guys. Batong, like you're making me blush, get shy. I don't even know what to say.
Oh, my coach. I love the sessions that we had on YouTube about the book. Please
Yes.
introduce yourself because where's the profile ya hao ya chisaya baba e hot. Too hot to handle. Kitse batho ba ba dance kore modimo o mblessitse ka di queen di kgoshikadi ke re bona.
Always.
Batho ba ba dance. And you've just opened a store with all our other LBN queens. Congratulations once more.
Thank you so much.
Please tell our beautiful TikTokers more about yourself.
Okay, cool. So yes, good evening, everyone. So I'm Makhabo Dlomo, and I am a mental wellness coach. So I work with people with regards to their minds, right? So I believe that before you start anything, before you approach your day, before you start a relationship, whether that be with yourself, with your spouse, with your partner, with your children, it all starts with you as like as the person. It all starts with the self. So I work with people to get in touch with themselves and sort of figure out what are some of the blocks that stand in the way, that get in the way of you fulfilling like your heart's desires, living the life that you want to live. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's who I am. I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur. I start businesses without sort of knowing that I'm going to start a business, and sort of find myself in there. And it's like, okay, so let's figure out what that is about. And I think the self, like for me, it's just a continuous journey all the time with every single aspect of my life, figuring out who I am, what this new chapter sort of brings out in me, what am I meant to learn, how am I meant to transverse challenges. And yeah, I just share my thoughts around that. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Utlwa Lala Joy a reng, Lala Joy a re, wow, what an inspiration. Lala Joy, bona, she hasn't even begun to start. On top of all of that, she is a wife, Lalela Mntase. She's just opened a shop that she and other of our Ladies in Business Network queens ba kwale ko Atteridgeville batho ba ko Pheli ba ba leng dese. Please go support our queens. They are there. Please go buy accessories. Yonke into support local brands. Go to Odese. That's what it's called. Okay, that's why I get Badese. It's not by mistake. Ba hot, ba ba ba. And the shop is
Yes.
called Odese because the products do di kry-ang kwale di dese le tsona le bangwe ba tsona ba dese. Ba
Yes, re
tlhalosa
etsa dilo tse dese for
re
batho
dira
ba ba
dilo tse
dese.
dese. Yes, my queen. We do, we do, we do. So please share with them um your journey with Intombi, your natural hair products. Like what? Every time I hear your story, it just humbles me. It is so beautiful. It is so amazing. I never get
Yeah,
tired of hearing it. So, ngicela nje usixoxele nama-TikTokers wethu, my queen. What is
definitely.
it?
But before I go
Odessa
into that,
Bahao.
I just wanted to say hi to Mpume as well. Like I haven't spoken to you in such a long time. So hello, hello, hello. We need to catch up. So yes, Intombi. So Intombi is just, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I'd be on this journey, I would not have believed you, because it's not
Yes.
something that I would have dreamt or envisioned, but it's something that brings me so much fulfillment and so much joy. So
Yes.
the story of Intombi starts with, obviously, with me. And the turbulent journey that I've had with my natural hair, and not really understanding my hair, not loving my hair. So I grew up with my mom who had hair that was, what we consider beautiful hair in the Black society. Like it was very curly and soft, and my hair was the exact opposite. And she even didn't know what to do with my hair. And I had like my brothers who took after my mom. So it was just like I was the odd one out with like this very sort of like hard to manage, really like hard hair. And yeah, I just did not love it. And when I became a mom, and my two daughters, looking at them, one had hair which was like my hair, and then the other one had hair which was like my mother's hair. And I remember thinking to myself, but I want my children to grow up loving themselves and knowing that their hair is a part of their identity, and not have one hate their hair and then the other sort of, embrace it, because that's what society is going to do, right? They're going to say, oh, you have good hair, and then the other one doesn't. So I
Mm.
wanted to create something, a product that was like for the little makabo in me to say, but you have always been beautiful. Your hair has always been beautiful. You just needed to know what to do with it. And to also create something for my daughters to say, both of you, as different as you are in terms of your hair journeys, but you are both beautiful. And so the inspiration I draw from my mother, because I always looked at her hair as beautiful. So I named the business after her. So it's called Intombi because her name is Ntombi. And so it's like three generations
Oh.
of just hair and understanding hair and trying to figure out what is sort of the empowerment space, and especially when it comes to black hair. So it's a journey that we're all traveling. My mom is very involved. My daughter, like my 5-year-old, is very involved. Like she goes around telling people, she's like, you have to use my mommy's hair care products. So
Yes.
already, like, you can start to see how the conversation is changing. So, and that's something that I just want to impart, like, with everyone, especially with women, and we all like having daughters, to say, let's just start that conversation and just explore what that looks like. What, like, how could it be different? So yeah.
I love that. Umpo says, congratulations, Makabo. Popo, popo. Shine,
Thank you so
shine.
much.
Thank you, Mpoza. And Lala Joyce says, yo, my gosh, our queens are very inspired by your story, my queen. And I love the series that we had together about the book. Tell us your
Yeah.
review. How did you find this book?
I loved the book, right? Like, there was a point where when I started reading it, because I got it, and I didn't read it for a little while, so I had it on me. And then
Oh,
when I
yes, because you were
started
so
reading it,
busy.
yes, right? So when I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. Like, I kept, like, every 2 pages, I kept sort of like poking my
Oh,
husband and being like,
Slender.
hey, you need to, like, read this thing. You need to read this book. And I started, like, we started having the conversation. Like, I'd come back and be like, do you know, like, there's this person and this person and this is what's happening. So I really enjoyed it as a book to just read. It was very lighthearted. It was very easy to read. But what I also really loved about it was that the stories are very relatable. Like, we have a very
Yes,
romanticized idea of how we look
yes.
at love and relationships, and it's all based on, like, this, Hollywood media
Yes.
fabrication of what life is,
Mathata fela.
right? And then we don't, and
Yes.
then in our communities, that's not what is reflected in us. When we, like, I felt like when I was reading your book, I have met these people, I have seen these people in different walks of life, right? So it felt very relatable. It felt very authentically South African.
I love that. And
Yeah.
Uslenda Papa Papa has sent you 9 roses. Like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
Slender is on
thank
a roll.
you.
Papa, Papa,
Yes.
Sabonga, Queen Slender, we love you. Yo, hi Shem. Guys, please follow in Queen Slender's footsteps. Please gift our host. Please gift bonke labantu abakhona epaneleni, Nkosi yami. Thank you so much for the love, Slender, my darling. Please, 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 Slender, if it's possible for you to come with Ubabu Pyramid on Sunday, I really want to meet you. Please chat to him. Please come through because I'm like so excited. I want to meet Uslenda Sam. Such a queen. Wow. And then Usimpio Uti, the Western version is completely different from the reality. That is so true. Tabeda, welcome back. Our host is back. Yes. Queen Nompumelelo Moshoeshoe. Papa Papa.
Hi. Thank you for that. And it was actually really great to hear Omar Khabo's. I think we share the same
You
sentiments.
got your
Remember?
copy. You got your copy.
Yes, I do have my copy.
Yes. Ta 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 ta. The book club. Host na copy. Host na copy.
Yay. So definitely, as Mahabo said, I love that the same, like that it's an easy read, and the fact that it was relatable. It's not like this far-fetched story as you should sometimes Western version, even not even Western, even China, like different others from the different from our own culture, right? It feels like, okay, you start to wonder how ganjani, what would it feel like, or this and that. But then this one, especially also with the creativity of how you named the different couples with the different cities, right? I
Pa pa
love
pa
that.
pa.
The creativity there, I really enjoyed it. So not to so I think that was the so, like I said, part of, actually a huge part of how Mahabo explained and reviewed the book. That's how I felt about it myself. And I was even saying to her that it's relatable, right? But then there's parts within the book where when you're reading, you start thinking, Gutim, like you pause and you have that part, Guti. All right, so here, what is it about? Or and like what actually very true, Guti, you want to talk to someone about it. Like Maka was saying, she spoke to her husband, right? So I'm thinking to
Yes.
myself, because I'm reading by myself and I'm like, okay, so this and the nice part about with each and every couple when you come to the end is that it's not really just only talking about the couple and what they went through, but then you also offer some advice or a place where a person can go if they do go through certain incidents. Or yeah, so I really liked that because it felt like you're not just telling someone's story and just for the reader, but then it's that awareness at the end of the day that yes, you might be going this A, B, C, and D, but then you don't actually realize that there's something to fix, or we just take it as it being normal and not really I'll use Machabo's word, deal. She's always saying you must deal.
We need to deal with ourselves. I love that, right? We're like and we spoke about it, Bridget, that there's a very strong theme of healing in your book. Right?
Yes,
There's a
yes,
theme of overcoming, a theme of healing, a
yes.
theme of sort of like being in recognition that there's certain things that you just need to let go of and you need to heal from, because we are all just an accumulation of all the experiences that we've gone through, and they cloud and shape our perspective. And sometimes we live in those perspectives so deeply that we don't see anything else. And it's when you are able to overcome and heal from it that you can see that, oh, there's a different way of being, right? So you could end up in like relationships that are abusive and toxic and not realize the abuse and the toxicity of it because you are so used to being there. But it's like when you
That's
start
true.
to get out of it, then you start to realize, no, actually, like this goes against like what I deserve. It goes against my self-worth. I'm somebody who actually, I want something that's different. So you're able to then seek out what it is that you're looking for and find it, rather than just staying in the toxicity because you're so used to being there. So yeah, I love the theme of healing as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what? Actually, that healing theme, it's been there, intertwined in my life throughout my life and all not and whatnot. I've always had seers and pastors and people say, oh no, but you are a healer. And I thought, what? And Bavele Basho, but no, not the type that needs to go or lotus or whatever. Just everything about you heals. And they were like, you must just look into that. And I thought, okay, like whatever. And interestingly enough, all these natural things and natural, solutions, health remedies, and all of these things that I've always been into, it's just come naturally to me. I didn't know that it was part of healing. Do you know what I mean? And I'm a very solutions-based person, which is what our host on Lovgas Nompumelelo said, which she loves the fact that the book is not just about stories. I didn't want to leave people reading a book and then they're like, okay, but how does this help me? Do you know what I mean? I wanted people to know that help is available. These are the people you can contact if you're in this situation. You don't have to suffer in silence. This is what this book can do for you, essentially, right? So Usimpiwe here says, please consider an ebook version. Okay, Simpiwe, let me tell you something, my queenship, right? With this vision that I have, I want my book in at least every household within South Africa, then Africa and the rest of the world. Then only will I do an ebook. And I don't promise to do any other books after that. Ngoba nje i-calling yami ihlala ishintsha, my direction nje, my spiritual alignment is forever changing. Right? So umpa uthi, yo, my network sisters, I keep losing touch. Shamuska wa Ramposa, Renala wena. And we appreciate you being with us. Lala Joy, thank you so much for coming through. Back to you, our hosts, Ndlovukazi Nompumelelo.
Yeah. So, as I explained, just because not everyone has had the opportunity to read the book or to buy the book, but then please do. So, I have places where I sticky noted some parts of the book, and it's stuff that we've heard. Yazizwa, you hear our mothers our aunts or our grannies talk about such things, right? But then we never really think of how deep, like how deep this can go. And in terms of, even when you're speaking of advice in general, so let me so generally I'm just gonna read, right? This is on page 27, and then so we can allow everyone most probably to have their share of what they feel or their perspective. And so I'm gonna read from, who's this, Gauteng and Johannes.
Oh no, I think we lost our host.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, and I love that couple. I think they're my favorite in the book. I was looking
For everything that she had.
Oh, she's back. Oh, we lost you for a moment. Welcome back. Hey.
Oh, you lost me. Oh my gosh, sorry.
No, no, we can hear you now.
It's the
Welcome
Wi-Fi.
back.
Sorry, they just moved it. Okay. Oh, all right. So I was actually going on and reading. So I don't know. I'm just gonna
I'm
restart the
I'm there
paragraph,
with you.
right?
Page
Yes, on
27,
page.
I'm there with you.
Yes. So there where it says the turning point and game changer for Johannesburg came when she saw her life flashing right before her eyes, and she fought with everything that she had for the first time in her toxic married life, right? And this for me, I think it raised a lot, and not cause of maybe my married life or whatever, but then I have been mugged before, where I had to fight with everything I got in that moment, and that took me back to that moment. When you're thinking, Guti, in this moment, whatever happens, all I know is that I need to fight,
Yo,
and
the way I'm
it
so
really
proud
speaks
of
to
you.
taking your power.
The way I'm so proud of you. You fought blood, tooth, and nail, and you're still standing. I'm like, yo, yo, yo. That strength, that courage, that adrenaline. Yo, you must
Yes,
teach me your ways.
exactly. No, but then that's what really this part took me back to, Guti. And until it was, I've heard of stories of women speaking about being abused in marriage and having to fight. But then the way you actually described it, it was so vivid in my head that when a person goes through something like that, where you actually also realize, Guti, here it's do or die. One way or like I'm fighting, whether I know how to, whether I don't know how to. What I do know is that I value my life and I still want to be alive, And this is what Johannesburg story for me brought about. This is what it made me think of. I'm just gonna move. I think my network, I'm not quite sure. Please let me know if you do lose me. But for me, then the question was, I think to open up. So let's see. Then Osimpiwe at I'm a social worker, and definitely it happens a lot. Breaking out of the cycle is so hard, which is so
Very
true. And
true. Yes.
yeah. And from when because obviously this triggered my experience, and I just thought about, sometimes you're always asking women, Guti, "Uhleleleni? Why do you
Yes.
keep going back?"
Mm.
But you actually, what this then brought me back to is that I remember after I went through the whole mugging and all that, I was actually depressed, and I didn't know. I didn't know for a good maybe 2 or 3 years, until I snapped out of it, and I was like, but I wasn't fine. I wasn't well. And that paragraph, that's what it brought up for me. So I just want, like, I don't know, most probably we should open up to hear what um the other panelists or
So wait,
guests would.
did the book ever trigger you like in a negative way, or was it in a positive way to say, wow, I've actually overcome that. I've come so far, you know? Which one was it?
It's actually. So for me, because I've already dealt right with that part of my life, but then I've never actually had, sometimes when you go through, I don't know, when you have a situation and then you can relate on a deeper level. So yes, though it's not happened in marriage or in family, but then cause it's happened in a different setting, but then I could now understand, Guti, the the advice that Uguti, no, I'd never do that. I would just walk, I would leave. Why doesn't it make wake up, And it dawned on me, Uguti, in that situation, it's not as clear as, no, why would you allow this? Or, because no one wants that. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's what it helped me understand, that in future, when another woman or someone else speaks of this issue, it gave me a different perspective, in sense, Gutin. Don't be so quick and be like, sis, snap out of it,
Yay. So Simpiwe speaks about trauma bonding. Simpiwe also says, that's a beautiful vision, may it be manifested. Oh, Magobenjalo Stando Sam. From your lips to the ears of the Most High, baby girl. And thank you so much to everyone that's joining. Bongi, Siyabonga, Siyabonga kakhulu. Ali Ann, thank you for coming through. James, nawe John, Nkosi yami nibaningi. Siyabonga kakhulu uthando lwenu. Thank you so much for everyone that's sharing. All of the hearts, all of the likes, all of the follows. We appreciate you. All of the gifts. You are absolutely phenomenal. So my queen, uSimphiwe uthi please read some more. Simphiwe reka buka. Reka buka ka Simphiwe. How? Reka buka. Ntsha 400 ke ho fe, including delivery to your postnet. And oh, she says, I'm in Swaziland, ma'am. Simphiwe, darling, come to South Africa. Make a plan, honey. Let's make a plan for you, baby girl. But yeah, my queen, I think maybe let's read some more just to
So
show some love to uSimphiwe Nkosi yami nesupport
can I
yakhe.
just jump in quickly before you read some more? Like I love what you
Yes.
said about, going through the experience that you went through, and only after coming out of it realizing that actually you were depressed from it, right? Because I
Yes.
think, like, I talk about this a lot, where I talk about the language of mental health. And sometimes when you are in a situation, you can't recognize like what is going on with you, and you don't have the words, you don't have the language. You can't really sort of point at it and say, this is what this is, or it's something else, right? And I think we need to almost, as a people, as a society, find a different way to talk about some of the hardships that we face without without holding on to the label so much.
Yeah.
Because it's when we don't have the label that you can't describe what is happening. But it's like we then rely on the label to be like, oh, if you can't name it, then I don't know what you're going through. But I
Yes.
think when we are able to talk about it in a way that is open, like we open ourselves up to so much empathy and conversation. Because sometimes the biggest thing that needs to happen is the conversation,
Yeah.
right? So if you don't have the
Absolutely.
words, then we need to have the conversation. And then somebody down the line in the conversation can be like, you know what, I think what you're describing is. Because also there's the flip side of it where, you could have been in that situation and you go to let's say a therapist after a couple of weeks and they're like, I think you're exhibiting signs of depression. You'd be like, what? I'm not depressed. That is
That's
not me. I know what depression looks
true.
like, and I'm not depressed. I recently had a client who was like that, who was like, no, somebody said I was depressed. And I was like, I am not depressed. And I'm like, sometimes these labels stand in the way. They can be helpful, but they also stand in the way. But I think the biggest thing out of all of it is the need. Like, we have to understand that conversations need to happen, and when we have conversations, then we
Yes.
become empathetic. And it's almost like what the book allows us to do is to have the conversation, even if you're just having the conversation internally with yourself, to be like, oh, that's a different perspective. I didn't see it like that. I didn't know that somebody could, going through such a situation, could think in this way.
Mm.
So I love that. I love how sort of like, you know being reflective and sort of looking at your own situation and sort of helping you to realize a different perspective and allowing the conversation even internally.
Yes, that is wellness coach Makgabo, ladies and gentlemen. Please do follow her. Please do follow everyone that is on the panel. And Uslanda, our queen, says, maybe I need to read this book since I'm still suffering from PTSD of toxic relationship. Yebo wena ndlovukazi yami. This is why I want you to come through on Sunday. No. Neqhawe lemigede lapho ubaba upyramid ngize ngizoku-autographela ikhophi yakho sithathe ney'thombe shute my darling, you will never regret it. It's an investment and a half. We have got Usimpiwe joining us on our panel. Ndlovukazi yethu, she says true, until you walk in someone's shoes, labeling is just unethical. Absolutely. Ndlovukazi Simpiwe, over to you, my darling. I know you've been trying to get in a word. Talk to us, boo.
Hi everyone. I am
Hey! Ah, you finally came through. Yes, 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 Queen.
yes, ladies. I am here and I'm just really just listening in for today. I don't know if I really would have anything much to say for today because I have to go and cook, but I'm really so happy that I joined into this live, right? Because I got to meet all of you wonderful ladies, sisters that are for the sisters, which is very hard to get these days. So I think, Bridget, please make more of these lives. I really like this community. It really just speaks to my heart. But definitely, I will make a plan. I will come to SA, and when I do, where are you based, Bridget?
We're based in Gauteng, my darling, in South Africa. So,
Gauteng.
point of
I
correction.
normally. Uh-huh.
This is Ndlovukazi Mpume's idea because
Oh.
everyone else just tags me on social media when they do their book reviews. And she's like, no, actually, I want to do a TikTok live. I'm like, yes, Queen, let's go with it.
Oh no, this
So
is
it's her idea, and
more.
you best believe if more of these should happen, she will definitely host them. I will support. Ndizamvulela ispace Mntase, and she will run with it.
No, thank you for me. Thank you so much. And listening to like just everyone's stories, I'm really touched and actually inspired. I'm definitely going to follow all of you ladies, and I will be sharing the lives in the future. But I have to love and leave you today. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Simpiwe. Lots of love, hugs, and kisses to you. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So
Kubeka, my queen, back to you.
all right, yes. So here I was just reading La Uslenda. I think you read this comment, right? And just to continue reading from, so I'll just conclude a bit. So not to read the whole book, just a few liners from Gauteng and Johannesburg's story. So where this is when now she's given, she's realized, woken up to the reality or come to herself. And she says, return soldier is a term used for someone who is divorced. However, it is better to return to your loved ones alive and kicking than lifeless in a body bag. Dear sis, coming back home from a failed marriage is better than coming back within a coffin. They can call you return soldier and all sorts of terrible names, right? You matter, and nobody has the right to abuse you in any shape, form, or size. If you are reading this, then take it as a sign that it's not too late for you to take back your power. No matter how much married life left you, the end to gender-based violence begins and ends with me and you. So this was very touching and very emotional, especially how vivid I think actually the whole book, because it really describes and it makes it so clear in your mind and you can picture it, right? And that, yes, it's a very powerful one, right? And to think, Kuti, now she's healed, she's thriving. And I think that's what Umakhaba was saying, that the conversation needed to happen, and now looking back and realizing, Guti, she's in such a great space, and to the person that she was and what she was living in. So that is the Gauteng and Johannesburg story. And I think it just,
Makhaba uthi
yeah.
it's one of her favorite couples.
Really?
Ushakanje.
Here for the drama, but the overcoming and the learning.
Yes, yes, please get the book because it's drama. Lapha ya Johannesburg, no, it's like kuseGoli vele. The whole
Yes.
like
Also,
kuyagoyishwa.
it makes sense because I've lived in South Africa my entire life, and Gauteng is the GP that has been my life. So, I've just moved from Pretoria to Johannesburg, literally. So it made sense for me to open up the book. Gauteng, not Johannesburg. Nalobugoli bakhona, bona spice. Ipelepele, hotness. It just had to be there.
Yeah. Uh, so I love that. Most probably for people who haven't shared, I'm not quite sure whether you shared it with your YouTube series with Umahabo, or was it when you had your TikTok when you were explaining what inspired using the provinces of South Africa.
Oh, yes, that was the YouTube series that we've got, no Coach Mahabo, and I look forward to those links because we need to share, share, share. It was absolutely amazing. Love, love, love.
Oh, okay. So they must you'll just share it and then they can go listen to that.
Yes.
All right, that which is great. So please do, yes, with Coach Mahabo, and is it on YouTube, right? I
Yeah,
think it's
it's
also
on her
on her
it's
page.
on her YouTube, but I've
Okay.
got the snippets on my TikTok account. Uslenda Uti, it all happens in Jersey. Yazi in Westland. You need to get the book because I think you will fall in love with uKwaZulu Natal, chapter 9, Slender. It's for you. Westland, uzongitshela kahle wena. Chapter 9. It's it's
Yeah.
it's bakhala ngayo.
Chapter, yeah. Then we're gonna go to. So we might not be able to go through the whole book today, but
No, it's fine.
then
We can
jumping.
we can
Yeah.
do a series, we can break it down as kuzoya ngawe ke wena Ndlovukazi yethu ukuthi do you want it to be part 1, part 2, part 3 or kanjani, yabo?
Yes. So now then, so we're going to Beshu and Eastern Cape's Ghetto and Fabulous Love. Yes. I even like the titles. Like, what was Johannesburg? I didn't give the chapter. Yeah, got Johannesburg. Konje Johannesburg ini. Prison Break Love. Yeah. Johannesburg, it was Prison Break Love. When you read it, you will see it definitely. So now we're on Bishu and Eastern Cape's Ghetto Love. And I'm going to read from page 33, right at the bottom,
Huh?
where she says, so let me see where to start. Where to start. So although Eastern Cape did everything he could to be there for his young wife, Beshu, she still felt alone in their marriage due to the fact that he was away working to build their empire while she was at home to see their small family build her dreams and make a loving home of warmth, love, and light. She would find herself crying silently, thinking of her mother and her unhealed wounds as a result of the pain caused. Right. And it says that the thought she had thought she had forgiven her mother, and other days she despised her to the core. But in all days she prayed. It's the only thing that kept her sane amidst the turmoil and chaos. So this is also, and this is the nice thing, Guti. Sometimes you think, Guti, yes, this is a nice love story. The couple, the family, they devoted to each other. But then you actually realize with the family is not in support, or there's actually wounds that were created cause of the union, and how then Abantu then separate. And even though we could say, no, we're a nuclear family, such things, Norma, you carry on even if you were the one who was right in that situation to say, but the hurt is still there, and it goes back to the healing parts that Coach Mahabo was speaking to in terms of it's there, even though, yes, life is going well, they're no longer as stressed as before, they have their kids, but it's still that thing, Guti, even though I am doing well, You know, there's that relationship with my mother, with my family, that was broken and still hasn't been healed. If you could just share a bit about, just a snippet about that part, you know, about that.
So, there's quite a number of abafazi, amakhosikazi, oyindlunkulu, inkosazana, that I know who are in situations where their parents are not supportive, their parents have cut them off, for one reason or another. They don't support their marriage, they don't support the union or the relationship that they are in. So essentially, into ebalulekile la emhlabeni, Nkosi yami, kubo bonke ama-TikTokers abalalele, it's to make peace and to restore with the relations of abazali, because they are like uNkulunkulu kithina lana emhlabeni. Baphethe iy'busiso zethu, baphethe impumelelo yethu, kodwa batshwere matlhatsi le matlhogonolo a rona, So kwamele nje silungise as much as is possible. And ukulungisa, it doesn't mean that you agree with their toxic traits or their toxic ways of doing things. You understand? Some of these lessons that we go through in life and some of these tests, in order for us to pass them, kwamele uzehlise umuntu uzithobe. Basically, uikokobetse, obe ngwana modimo, o re o itse keng, le ge o sa dumelane le motswadi wa gago, le tsela ya ka mokgwa motswadi wa gago a irang dilo ka teng, mara o mo tshwarele, kore o botle, a sa phela. Make peace, as much as is possible. Nasa Bhayibhelini liyasho ukuthi make peace with all men. Live in peace with all men. It doesn't say be besties naloyo muntu or uhambe uyomvakashela every day. No. Just live in peace. Make peace. And many people are stuck in their lives because of unresolved issues with their parents. Some people, their parents have passed on and still those unresolved issues remain. They cannot move forward because those unresolved issues with their parents are still hanging in the spiritual realms. Zisamile nje, unresolved, So that section just spoke to children needing to resolve issues with their parents, no matter how difficult, no matter how painful. It's not easy, but it needs to be done for the sake of future generations, for the sake of healing the bloodline, for the sake of healing the family, for the sake of healing the lineage, for the sake of being the change that we want to see in the world. We really need to work towards healing things with our parents, with our guardians. Hey, lesilungu. Take my bundle aphelile. But yeah, uSlenda uthi, ngaze ngayihalela le ncwadi. Yes, my queen. Slender Matuslice, Ndlovukazi. I think it's gonna give me my power back. Oh, it definitely will, Slender. Lalela, 110%. You will be back. Uti, that's true for parents. We need to forgive them, though they hate us for no reason. It's very true, yazi Slender, because you need to understand. Uti mfutu uSlender, as for my mom, she never loved me, and I have to buy her love. But still, she praises my younger sister. Yayibona ke, my coach, eyakho host yam Ndlovukazi, Nompumelelo Moshoeshoe, over to you. And over to no Coach Makwande, yeah, for wellness and mental issues, yeah.
Can she please take this? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
as you guys were talking about parenting, right? It reminds me of something, and this doesn't necessarily speak to parents who've been absent or parents who've been neglectful. Like there are people who are dealing with very difficult situations, and my heart goes out to them. But a lot of us have turmoiled with our parents, parents who were there, who raised us, um who we have this relationship with. But as we grow older, it doesn't seem to sort of like merge into the space that we wanted to get into. And I specifically sort of speak to this group of people, right? And I always call it like you kind of have to, like, your parents have to fall from a pedestal.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we are born to our parents. They are
Yes.
our primary caregivers. They are the first people we ever grow to love, right?
Yes.
They are our blueprint of what relationships should be in life, how we go
Yes.
about forming relationships, and sort of like we mimic a lot of things from them, because they are the primary caregivers that we first sort of like encounter, especially in those first few years of our lives.
Mm.
So we, as a child, looking at your parent, they are like this magnificent, they could never do wrong, they are
Yes.
amazing, and then you sort of
Yes.
grow up and you become a teenager and you sort of start to have friends and like a social life outside of the home, like as like a secondary socialization. But your parents are still like the primary people who sort of hold everything together. And so when
Mm.
you grow up and you start to kind of have this not getting along, right, with your parent, it's
Yes.
based a lot of the time on the perspective of, but you should be a different way. You should be a different mother. You should be a different father. How I expect you to behave is X, Y, and Z, right? Because, and
Yes.
a lot of it comes from how we always view our parents, especially like in our younger years. Like they're supposed to love us and care for us and be there for us and do all these things. And if they don't, it's like, but why are you not? Right? And that brings us like a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But when you go through the journey of understanding that all people, like I said earlier, are basically not tarnished, but are sort of like what is the word? Yo, another bundles are depleted. Um,
It's a Friday
they
night.
they are
Which are you?
influenced, right? Like as people, we're all influenced by all the experiences that we go through. Then when you start to realize that your parents are people too, your parent is a person too, and they have been tarnished by all the experiences that they have been through, then they
Yes.
start to get off the pedestal for you. They start to become
Yes.
human. You
Yes.
start to understand that they too have pain, right? And it's not to justify it to say, oh, because you went through a hard time and you also have pain, that you have to treat me badly. But when we
Yes.
understand that people are hurting and they are also going through their own journey, then we tend to be empathetic to say, okay, I can see that that thing that you said that hurt my feelings, that thing that you did, the favoritism that I see that you have between me and my siblings comes from a place of you hurting,
Yes.
and it has more to do with you than it does with me. And
Yeah.
because of that, I feel empathetic towards your situation and I can see your pain. But it is not a reflection of me. And I think when you are able to do that, you start to really truly understand that it is not a reflection of you. And
Yes.
it goes to that there's a saying that hurt people. And it's
Yes.
when somebody's going through something that they need to let that out, and they will project it
Mm.
onto somebody. But
Very
you are
true.
also, you have to also understand that you are then receiving that. But when you are able to block it off and say, you know what, I can see that you are doing this because you are also facing your own hurt, but I choose not to take it. Then you protect yourself, but you're also looking at the person from a place of empathy.
Sure. Wow. Very
Powerful.
profound, hey?
Powerful. Yeah. And I think I'm going to use a lot of Makhabo's words in this most probably space, because I love how she approaches healing, and just in terms of how you as a person, how she was explaining that. And okay, let me just take it back in terms of how it's the other person, right? And there was a time when I think I had a conversation with her, and around, actually, I think you also have it on she has it on her page, so please go look through some of the stuff that she's posted where she speaks of boundaries. So I'm not quite
Yes.
sure if it's there, Yes, where it's that it's
The video about
boundaries.
boundaries, yeah.
Yeah, there
Yes.
is, and
Yes.
yes, this is exactly what it speaks to. And it reminds me also there was a time when Sarah Jakes also spoke about it in terms of when she found herself in her marriage and she was like going all crazy and screaming, and then she sat back and was like, Mari, am I this person now? You know,
Yeah.
and or like I also use Coach Mahabo's words where she says, "It's what." Please, I mustn't misquote you when you say pull. Don't laugh. And I had it now that it's keeping yourself within. Am I correct? That's the words that she likes using.
Yes.
I love that. The boundary
Yes.
of self. It's like keeping self within self. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's exactly what it is. And I think this is something that we find throughout our journeys. Whether it's in friendship, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's even in work with your colleagues, where you find that how that person acts really is not a reflective of a reflection of you, and how then you choose to react to that. How she was speaking, that it needs to come from a place of you can then look and say, Guti, this is not me, but I understand, Guti, wena ulapo. You know, we need to also understand that not everyone is at the same level. And so I think as you progress, you'll find that in the story, then ways that on the page. So I missed the page where the mother comes back and then apologizes to umtanake, to the child, and then the long overdue. Yeah.
But you know, my coach, I think that's another thing for our TikTokers that are watching.
Yes.
Don't wait for umzali to make the first move to forgive. Don't.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow is not promised to anyone, and uthole ukuthi mhlawumbe umzali usekaduze nokuhamba, you know?
That's
So
true.
as difficult as it is, I really, really encourage, you know, our TikTokers to just make that move. And why am I saying this? There's a queen, uNdlovukazi Vuyiseka, right? I've got her book. We follow each other. I buy some of her products. She's got a store in Randburg, right? And in her book, she mentions that with her journey of healing, her mother had passed on, right? And how she found out, her aunt, in her anger, told her and her sister, her older sister, how their mother was a prostitute and that's why she's dead and she deserved it. Now, can you imagine? This child had always known their mother's going to eGoli uzobasebenzela, and this is how she finds out that her mother's never coming back because she was a whore and a prostitute and all of these horrible words that the aunt spoke, right? And she was so angry, Uvuyiseka, right? But in her journey that she mentions, her spiritual journey, uyasho ukuthi okay, wahlangana nensindiso, and on her journey of like forgiving people, she asked her aunt and uncle that she was staying with then to accompany her bayovakashela this aunt, and to just ask for forgiveness, even if she was not the one in the wrong. She was just like, look, I value our family ties more than who's wrong and who's right. And she was so shocked, ukuthi her aunt actually humbled herself and just broke down and apologized and all of these things. So it was a very beautiful, you know, moment of forgiveness and ramification and all of these things. So I know it's very difficult, especially Slender, when you know that you are not wrong and you don't understand, right? But another thing when I'm a Queen Slender is that I've come to make peace and terms with the fact that my spirit will always irritate some people's demons and vice versa. You understand? And that's when I need to establish, is this relationship worth fighting for? And where your mother's concerned, yes, it is. If, for example, I'm out on the road driving and the next driver's demons are irritating my spirit, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I just praise and worship, let it go. Because I'm not about to now get killed just to prove a point to someone. Or ngithi ngizomkhombisa ngizomlaya. Yeyocanga ukuthi ubani. You know, it's not worth it. But where a relationship like your mother, is concerned, please, my Queen Slender, reach out to Coach Makabo. She will help you. She will guide you. Reach out to No Life Coach Wetu, our host Undlovukazi Mpume. Speak to these women, my queen. You are not alone. So yeah, she says, wow, that was a good move for Vuisega. That's what our Queen Slender says. Yes, you must check my videos, my queen. Her book is available. You can chat to her. You can get her book. She speaks about anger. It's about her journey with anger and hatred with all the people that have wronged her, and how she goes full circle, and actually forgives Labo Bantu who have wronged her, and how she lives a more peaceful and more fulfilling life, filled with contentment. Like, seka right manje, but it was a very difficult and challenging journey. So, yeah, my queen, Slender, I hope that was helpful. Abigail, thank you so much for joining us and for coming through. Back to you, my host.
And I think, one thing that I have learned within my own journey is that the more I've there's times, obviously as siblings, especially, you'd find that, like what the comment that was said earlier, Gucci, you'd find that Gucci, you start picking with Mari all the time, and you start picking just all these nitty things. But then I realized that the older I got, and especially now, I've realized how we are so quick, quick to, like what Coach Makaba was saying, to put our family and our siblings, everyone in our family, it's like you have this expectation of them, Guti, they shouldn't make you angry. Like, no, you can't. And we are not as forgiving towards them. And I'm thinking, but then these are people who are constantly in my life. They know me, they will make fun of me, they will, so I should also understand where they're coming from, So I've seen that with age, I've been more open to the fact, Guti, they're bound to upset me, and it's not necessarily most probably always them. It's maybe I'm in a space where I'm just irritable and they just thinking, Guti, we always laughing like this. We always joke around like this as siblings. But then on that day, I do not receive it well. And it's that thing of, Guti, there's seasons. There's times when most probably I'm more sensitive. There's times I'm going through my own stuff and I can't relate to them the way that they used to, Guti. This is how we relate. And I've been so intentional in my relationships, whether with my mother, with my siblings, in saying, Guti, they're my family, right? And they are human. And just as much as I want them to understand on the days that I'm irritable and I don't want them and I just give them funny looks to understand, I should give them and hold that space as well for them. So it's been, and I've seen it's helped me as well in my relationships. And I'm happy, like in the book where the mother, they forgive each other, and it seems like then it's this wholesome family. It's not like you are taken away or you had to sacrifice a certain relationship to have what you have. So that is the part that, and I'm going to take from that chapter. But the biggest thing also, there were a lot of things, there were a lot of learnings for me from reading your book. So and it's funny because though I work in the CSO space, right, and I have my own foundation, it never dawned to me in terms, Gucci, when a person needs help, because sometimes you'll have people who come, even though it's at a business, in a business setting, who actually need assistance on a personal level, personal matter. And for me, it never really occurred to me, Gucci, there's actually other avenues. You know how there's the family, family, what is it? It's the Family Life Center, right?
Yes.
Yeah, such organizations, I wasn't aware of them. And I was just like, oh, really? There's actually organizations, and which it's funny for me to even think, ukuthi, why wouldn't they be? Because family is like the bedrock of society. It's literally the thread. So that was also a nice broadening of perspective from my side in terms of kuti, there's actually these things do, like, I don't know, you know how sometimes people be like, why would you go for marriage counseling? Why? You know? So as a coach Maka, most probably you'd want to chip in here.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
coach. Coach Mahama,
I
come
think
through.
we spoke, Bridget, I think a little bit when we had those videos that you kind of have to, we walk into relationships with this almost expectation that they're just meant to happen because
Yes.
that's what we've always seen, that's what we see modeled. So we kind of, you know, it's also biological. You're attracted to who you're attracted to, and it's like, oh, it makes sense. And this is what I always see. It's in the media, it's at home, it's in our societies. But we don't then work on ourselves as sort of like complete entities meeting another complete entity to then have to adjust to then accommodate each other. But somehow it's just supposed to happen. It's supposed to work. And it's like, no, guys. By virtue of that, like you just like being your own person means that you coming together with another person, there's going to be friction and you have to sort of figure that out. So yeah, like we always like there's a stigma, right, that's attached to counseling and therapy and all those things, but it's almost like it should be where you start. Because also
Yeah,
when
you
you,
know.
I was telling a client like this week when earlier in the week, and we were talking about relationships, and
Uh-huh.
they were talking about like relationship and happiness and like painting this picture, and I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna throw in a spanner in the works, and I was like, I don't think relationships are meant to make you happy, and they were so
Yes.
shocked. They were
Yes,
like,
we talked about this in
what do
our
you
video.
mean?
Yes.
Yes. And I was like, no, I was like, relationships, whether it's with your partner, with your friends, with your children and parenting, I was like, relationships are meant to be a mirror. They
Yes.
hold up this reflection so that you are able
Yes.
to look at yourself. And
Uh-huh.
in moments where you are triggered, then it's a signal for you to turn inward and be like, okay, what is going on there? When my
Exactly.
partner behaves in this way, when he comes home and just like throws his jacket on the couch and leaves his shoes by the door, it's like, are you kidding? Like, who the hell do you think you are? There's no maid in this house. You know what I mean? And it's like, but this
Yes.
person is just behaving how they want to behave in that moment. Why are you being
Mm.
triggered?
Yes.
So is it a power thing? Is it a control thing? Is it what do you think
Yes.
that is communicating when it's not? So I'm like, in those moments, you are supposed to look inward and reflect and go, okay, what's going on for me? And you'll be a much better partner when you do that, a much better parent, a much better friend, when you are able to look at how is it that you're being triggered in your relationships and turning inward and working on yourself, so that when those things happen, you can just look at this person and be like, oh wow, okay, so you just left that jacket there, okay. that's
You
that's
know?
fine, and like it doesn't bother you, but you can then have a conversation to say, hey, isn't it a great idea for us to like clean up after ourselves without the loadedness of who do you think you are doing this thing, right?
I love that. And with it being 5 minutes to 8, I hope there'll be no load shedding on my side. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi Nkosi yami ngiyanizonda. Should yeah, Nyayazi Eshkom, should it happen at 8? I'm really hoping it doesn't because it is a weekend. It didn't happen at 6, which I'm very excited about. But then if it didn't happen at 6, I'm always like, okay, it's either at 8 or at 10. But let's just continue with that disclaimer in mind. Back to you, my host.
So I really love that because it's literally that, it's that learning, it's that understanding, and when you're talking about just the self, Guti, reflecting back and looking back, like even in parenting, sometimes your kids will be doing stuff and then you're like, and you lose it. Something I've been practicing to be like, okay, why am I, why am I turning out to look like I'm the toddler here? I'm throwing all my, out of the closet and I'm screaming, stop doing that. But it's very true, and I think though these are the spaces that you find within family where you might find that you are pushed a little bit more. And that's why I looked at it and I was like, okay, this is the space where I need, because my whole assumption was family must understand. If I'm studying, if I'm stressed, they must just deal with how I'm feeling. And I realized, Guti, and exactly what Coach Makaba was saying, Guti, they're not here to make me happy. It's not like they all design their lives around Guti. Okay, so now we are going to accommodate, but then they do what they can, they do what they can. And that's what I love and appreciate, because they create that safety net in terms of me, giving me that space and that room to look inward and to be like, okay, you just went on a whole tangent. We're going to leave you and allow yourself to deal with yourself. So, that and I think organizations that do such work, it's really important. And I've never really actually, when I was introduced to Coach Mahabwane, he told me, if it's about parenting, she is the go-to. But I've never really, like I said, I've never thought of going for a session for whether it's a family types of, it's always like around my mental health, how I, fixing self. That's has always been my perspective.
Fixing. Yes, just like the host show, the fix. Oh, but before you continue, my queen, Uti, wow, how profound to what Coach Makabo said. She said, I've never looked at relationships that way. And she's got all these emojis and she says, sweet. Oh, awesome. Back to you, my host.
Yes, I don't know. I can't see the comments, but then it is true, right? Because that's the thing. And once you realize, Guti, not everyone in your and it speaks like it's so eye-opening and it gives you a different perspective. But I just wanted to say that if you are, that's apparently, she was like, when I was introduced to Coach Makaba, I was still Guti, girl, parenting, she'll hook you up. Like, so please, if you are a parent and you need as a coach or someone to assist in that space, do link up with Coach Makabo. So then now we're on chapter 2, right?
I'm actually loving this. I'm even chopping onions while it happens. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. I think there are we don't even realize what's going on here. There are people out there who need so much help, who need so much assistance, and we might think that we're just doing a book review amongst Queen sisters, but it's actually going a very long and deep way. My DMs are flooded with such emotional and phenomenal messages from our sweet TikTokers. So I just thought, let me share the love with you, my queens. Apparently, we're doing something right. Yay!
Hey, right? It's like what I was saying in the beginning, that we talk about women supporting women and we talk about that a lot. But what is the day-to-day of that, or like what does the day-to-day of that look like? And it's literally just showing up, having the conversation, saying, hey, you're struggling with this thing. I maybe can be somebody who can help you. Just showing up and saying, okay, so there's a book review. I've read this book and I enjoyed it. Let me just like pop in and say hello. And you never know like what then conversation transpires from that. So I think that's beautiful. And yeah, just to live in this moment of just acknowledging the beauty and supporting each other is important.
Absolutely. And for our beautiful TikTokers that may not know, myself and Coach Makabo, we're Queen Sisters from Ladies in Business Network. You must just go through my videos If you are a queen that is listening in on this TikTok live, you've got a business, it doesn't matter how small it is, please do follow Ladies in Business Network and send them an email, info at Ladies in Business Network South Africa SA.co.za. It's only 150 Rand to join, to become a member. It's a once-off membership fee payment. We get trainings, we do flea markets, we learn, we grow, we are a sisterhood. And we've opened quite a number of shops where our sisters have got shops. We support each other, we buy from each other, we've created our own economy. So y'all see my dreadlocks, right? I usually have my hair tied up when I do lives. I use Coach Makabo's products. I actually have them quite far away from me. I would actually hold them out. But they work wonders, right? Absolutely beautiful. She's got a natural afro, her and her daughters. So I don't need to go anywhere, and they last quite long, because you don't go and put the whole products on your head for one application. They're very rich like that. So that's what I use, for skin products, for bubble baths. We've got J skin oils. We've got all these ladies for perfumes, Inuka Itengi, for weight loss and all of these things, weight management. There's Aloe, Forever Living. All of these women who are selling stuff, we buy from each other. We are an entire sisterhood, like proper. Love in action, love and light. We've got our queen, Hona le Mafela. You struggle with cockroaches, with flies, with rats. We've got Sister Poch. She's also got a cleaning service. She comes and cleans up. She's got all these products that now works miracles, signs and wonders. We've got queens that have got daycare centers. Our queen, Mary Poppins, Queen Prue. Listen, you sign up your kids, we take our children there for day center. You need traveling, you need catering, honale, metandiwa halal food. Listen, ayikho into engekho. Umakoti's cakes, Makoti's catering, siphethe yonke into. So please don't be sitting in on this live and think like you were divinely sent here for a reason, for a purpose, and you better make good use of it. So follow all of us, see what's being done, ask for help, don't suffer in silence. Queens fix each other's crowns without telling the world that they are crooked, right? So please, 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 please do not let this live end. Uslanda uti chopping onions to hide your tears. Yes, ma'am. I'm a softie like that. Back to you, my host. I
That
just
is
needed
so
to
sweet.
squeeze that in there.
I just wanted to say, I have to hop off because it's not bedtime and people are like, okay, I need to go read stories.
Oh, that's okay.
So
That's so sweet. Oh, thank you for joining us, Coach
Yay.
Makabo.
Thank you so much. This was really, really lovely. I really enjoyed just sharing the space, this moment with you guys. I felt so tired at the beginning and I was like, do I take a nap or do I join in? But I feel so rejuvenated now. Like I just feel so filled up. And
We're so
I'm really glad
glad.
that I was able to share the space with you guys. Like you filled me up.
Yay!
Same
We
here.
fill each other up. Yes, yes. Please let our princesses tuck them in nicely in bed. Uhutle happy. You'll probably find us chatting a storm away.
No, the other one lately is so like attached. Like she doesn't sleep without sort of like almost strangling me. So if I can escape, then I will.
Thank you, Mama.
But if not, good night, and I'll catch you in the next part of our series. I guess it's a series.
Yes,
The requests have been made.
Yeah.
Yes. It will be same time next week, Friday. The series continues. So we're sending you lots of love, hugs, and
Definitely.
kisses to you, the girls and the family.
Thank you so much.
Slender, are same here, Makabo. I'm so enlightened. Thank you, Queen Slender.
So much.
Ciao, ciao. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Back to you, my hurts.
All right. So let's see. So This one. So we at chapter 3, right?
Yes.
3. This is Cape Town and Western Cape's gone too soon, love. Hey, yeah.
That one. Hey.
This one is that love that we all dream of, right?
Oh my
And then
goodness. Yo.
it's gone. It's like a fantasy. Ngathi nje, you could just hold on to it. And it's funny in this, let me see why. So most probably, you know what, for I don't know why didn't I, there isn't a specific part that I highlighted, but and it's such a short chapter, but it's such an emotional in terms of depth.
I think I see again. They must ask themselves what is going on there. Let's leave them with a question mark.
Yeah,
And we move on to the next one. That's what
the
Salaba's
day-
born. They must slide to my DMs, Bakipo or 400. Because of an autographed copy sent to their nearest pep store or postnet of choice. Sibashiya kanjalo nje. On to the next one, my queen. Siyabayeka.
Yazi, then okay, then it's born. There's nice juicy chapters la, ane. But as in, so let me see. So eating born ngifika kubani? Ngathi ngupulokwane nolompopo eating bo.
Hey, akuspicy lapho kuyashisa kuthi gomcake. Bona uvutha amalanga nama-cardbox.
Hey, so this would be chapter 6, and I think it will be the last chapter that we'll look at. So, for today, it's in born again, Alana. So I'm gonna read from page 55, and page 55, right? It's the paragraph at the top. Lana, ngifundele phatle. Yo, ayena chapter lena heavy.
So niyabona bangani bam, when you want to join the panel, you get the book. Sonke CCT page 55. Sonke. Akunamuntu oxakekayo la. Sonke siya ku page 55 togetherness. Yabo.
Should I even attempt starting this chapter as the last one? No, this chapter is heavy.
No, you know what I want? I actually want you to read her letter. Her letter is absolutely amazing.
Okay.
I think a lot of ladies can relate to that.
Yeah.
And it's very necessary. There are our queens out there who need to put an end to a lot of toxic relationships. And I can relate because I was engaged at the age of 22 and I dodged a bullet. Pa, 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 pa. So, yeah.
All right, again. So this is on 62, on page 62, Angish.
Yes. 53 on my one. I've got the first version. It's old.
Oh, okay. All right.
53. Yeah.
Okay, so
on your one, what page is the letter?
it's 62.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's because I've got the first version. You've got the third edition. Okay, that makes sense. Kubeka, my queen.
So this was Pulukwane's speech, which was she was a keynote speech, or this was a keynote address at a women's international business breakfast, right? So it reads, marriage is hard. It's supposed to be hard because it's two different individuals working together to unite to build a life together and leaving a legacy of love. You bear one another's burdens, help each other through life's challenges, growing pains, and navigate through all the challenges of life together. Yes. That is no small feat. Nothing is more noble, more admirable, more satisfying, and most pleasing to our Heavenly Father than a married couple loving each other selflessly with flaws and all, confronting their struggles together, raising their children together, fighting their enemies in unity, and delighting in serving one another while serving the Most High in one accord. Keep choosing each other over family, friends, and all others. Keep loving one another and submitting to each other. Compliment, reassure, admire, and mutual reassurance, admire, and mutual respect to one another.
Mutually respect one another, yeah.
Oh yes, mutually respect one another. Sorry. Now,
That's fine.
now each other's know each other's love language. Know
Yes.
each other's love language and administer it to one another continuously and on a daily basis. Don't take each other for granted. Life is too short to dwell on anger, unforgiveness, and bitterness. Marriage is not like those slick and well put together Instagram reels where everything is picture perfect. It's not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to sugarcoat it either. Marriage is like a beautiful garden. In order to keep it beautiful, one needs to put in the work daily to maintain its beauty. That includes praying together daily, speaking kindly to each other, always, especially during arguments and heated disagreements, filling up each other's love tanks, serving one another in love, and never forsaking the golden rule. Do unto others what you'd like them to do unto you. What
Yes.
a beautiful.
Sure.
Yes, it's such a beautiful letter, right? And
Yes.
I think also the last line for me, it's something I truly believe in. Do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you. It's such a golden rule and a philosophy that once you truly start living by, uyazikhuza,
Yebo.
uyazikhuza. Yeah.
Uyakhuzeka.
Yeah, because you actually, and as I said, especially for those that you live with, that occupy so much of the space that you're in, your time and your being, is so important to actually be very aware of that. Because, and especially the speak kindly, yabo, ukuthi hayi, why you all, and uthola ukuthi when you're speaking to, like for instance at work, when you speak with your colleagues, you're all polished, you're all
Yes.
good,
Prim and proper. All
polite,
poised.
ending, who's hey wena, you know. And like for me, that truly is a lesson that I take on, that if I can do that, and it brings back also the charity begins at home part of it. Guti, I need to know how to speak, and this is how I should practice, so it's almost like whatever now I'm doing outside, it's not a put on show of who I am, but then that's literally how I treat others. So we didn't delve into the story, Limpopo no Polokwane, but that was a beautiful letter. I don't know if there's comments. I can't see comments on my side. I don't know if are there
Oh,
any comments.
yes. Uslenda McQueen Uti. One thing I'm sure about. Once I have my copy, I will finish it in less than 24 hours. Slender yazin, babes, I read very fast, especially if a book is juicy, right? So what I have done is I timed myself. I read this very book that I wrote myself, and I finished it in 3 hours.
Right?
And not because I was rushed, but because it was so good, I couldn't put it down. So if you're an avid reader and yabona nje, namagama akhona futhi makhulu wena Slender, anyeke uhlupheke. And I did it that way intentionally so that if people who wear glasses want to take a break and take their glasses off, like our queen host, you don't have to struggle. So you will definitely finish it in less than 24 hours. That is for sure.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying, because it is one of those, because I wear glasses, right? But then I work also, and I'm reading and I'm writing throughout the day, that when I'm finally reading a book, it's so difficult to read past 20 pages or 30 pages because the font, So I like how you were so intentional in terms of it's literally easy. It's easy. It's one of those books. I want Patukuti, but you were reading the whole day and working. How then do you go back and read again? Then it's like, but then this is different,
Yes.
It's different. Seriously. And though we're talking to serious matters, serious matters that really affect our communities around
Yes.
GBV, around
Yes.
healing, around all the ills that could happen in terms of family and society. I think we have
Yes.
told Lapaya, in your book, like they are
Exactly.
there. They are
Yes, they're
there,
all covered.
you know.
Uslenda uti, and I also wear glasses. That means a lot to me, and it works to my favor. Oh, yebo,
Oh,
Slenda Standa. I thought of everything, Slenda, because I'm a very particular person. Ngithanda ukucabangela abanye abantu, right? So I had to think, ukuthi, obviously, if I want you to buy my book, I have to think of all the possible outcomes. Nesilungu sakhona ne Slender. It's so easy. Simple, simple, simple slungu. Because the point is not for me to show people ukuthi ngazi slungu. Like, no. That is not the point of the book. The point is to get the message across so that you can identify what your challenges are, what you need to heal from, and what you need to work on. So there couldn't be like a language barrier where fanele uhlale uphethe i-dictionary silenda uzibuza ukuthi kanti lo muntu uthini. Cha. Bengafuni leyo nto. And bengafuni ukuthi uze uyisole nokuthi ngangiyaphi imoya engcwele, because now the words are small and then you don't understand nesilungu sakhona ukuthi kwenzakalani, uthini lo muntu. I always say simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and I always try to keep it simple, simple, simple. Ukuthi even nomntana omncane ona 10 years old othanda ukufunda, if they want to learn from this, if they want to grow, and be aware, they can easily do so, So I always thought of everything possible, and I also didn't want to go through lama chain wencwadi, and angifuni ukukhuluma abantu kabi or anything like that. Everyone has their own preferences, but I just wanted to be able to connect with my readers. A lot of the people that have bought my book are my Twitter followers. I've got 118,000 Twitter followers. I recently just started this TikTok account, and they have been supporting like nobody's business. They have been spreading the word, they have been buying, they have been referring. They are absolutely amazing. Nakuthiwa umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu guyzini, nokuthi social media works, I have seen that power kwa-Twitter. I know a lot of people bayayisaba kuthiwa hey kuhlezi kukhulunywa into ezimbi, kodwa shem, when you've tapped into the right networks nabantu nje abalungile nje, who are all about spreading love and light and awareness and all of that energy, you will definitely be greatly supported. So yeah, sorry, my queen, I digress. Back to you.
Everything we speak of is important, right? And no matter how big or small, I always say that, like we're saying, for some people, us who read it, I was like, actually, it's so nice to have a book that doesn't strain your eyes on top of now
Yes.
trying to read, like reading a hard copy these days,
Yes.
it's so it's so difficult for myself personally because
Yes.
I can't carry everything or all the books that I am reading at that moment. But I was looking at the time, right? And I was thinking, since this is going to be a series, we could chat on and on. And there's so much to speak to. There's so much that we could actually even spread out to and invite other people. And it was so great that Coach Makabo was able to join in, to join
Yes.
in just to make it the conversation more wholesome. And the nicest thing is that actually, this is funny. The good thing, we both know her, but then we've never met the three of us together.
Right?
It's
Right?
like I know her from a different space and you know her.
Yes.
It's always so lovely. I remember when I first saw a picture of you with her and I was just like, is that her? So, it's
And
so
it's amazing because I didn't even tell our beautiful friends lapha TikTok ukuthi I met you through the other stuff that you and I are passionate about, giving back to the community, non-profit organization work. So into esiyenzayo nina ma-TikTok abathandekayo abahle, is that we are affiliated with quite a number of organizations. Nondlovukazi yethu has got her non-profit organization where we collect things from our own wardrobes, we wash them, we clean them, isn't easy, that can still be used, that are still in good condition, whether it's clothes or kitchen utensils that you're no longer using, or you've got spares, whatever the case may be. And then we give it away to the less fortunate, right? And we sow a seed, and we just become a blessing to abantu abaswelayo, and we just make it a point to do it as frequently and as regularly as we possibly can, right? So that's how ngihlangane nondlovukazi wami, and I was even on a journey, a woman empowerment program. Yazi yonke into nje, when you look back, uyabona isandla sakaSomandla phezu kwazo, on top of everything else. And I loved how she saw a picture of me and you, and she was like, "What?" And she was screaming. And you saw a picture of me with her, and you were like, "What?" And this was like the perfect opportunity, because what I did is I went back to all the people who have bought the book, and I
Yeah.
said, Wazana, we're doing a book review. If you guys can make it, come through. And you know me, I'm very impromptu. So obviously people had plans already. But she was like, "Baby girl, listen.
Yeah, for that.
Ngizodropha yonke into wena Nompume, my two favorite people, ngiphezu kwenu." And she came through.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I love the beauty, the purity of the love and the support and sincerity that I've also gained in knowing both of you.
Yes.
It's something that also we should highlight as much as we are speaking of book reviews and
Yes.
speaking of the work that we do in different spaces. But ultimately, I think it's sharing, and that's it's having these conversations. And I think it's the biggest thing that I found with your book is that the more we have these conversations, angazi in Zulu or in Swati kuzatu uyalaiwa, when you're about to get
Yes.
married.
Yes.
Yeah, and every time it's always like, no, you don't need to know what was said there. This is for married people, you're not married. But for me,
Oh no, I think we lost our queen, our host. Oh, Kosiyam. And she was getting to a very important point. But let me take this moment to thank each and every single person. Are you back?
yeah,
Yo, besengithi.
you know,
Ha, moya ngcwele kanjani? Bring her back.
seriously. But in ending, I was just saying it's we are rewriting, having these conversations, right? And it shouldn't just be conversations around with women only. Men should be part
Yes,
of it. Single people should be part of it. Even people who
yes,
have weirdos, people who are divorced. It should be us rewriting what marriage is. And we're building a society of whole families, of loving families,
yes,
when we speak of black love, and all of that.
yes,
It's this is the beginning of rewriting that narrative of Guti. And we need to also, it's not saying Guti, the stories that we've had or the advice that we have been given by generations that come back is wrong. No, but then they were speaking from where they were, with the
yes,
trauma that they had to deal with, how they navigated life and the
yes,
space that they lived in during that times, so
yes,
makukhuluma ngokubekezela wa
yes. And
dalo.
that's my first name.
It's different. It's different, It's
Yeah,
different. And
yeah,
this is the conversations that we're having because kuzotiwa no, but then why are you worried? You have a car, you have a husband who's always there, you have this, you have that. Tinabetu amadota went always home. So there's nothing to worry about, and you find the stories from the women that you speak of or who share their stories in your book. You realize, Wati, there's so much that people deal with in different ways, in
yes,
different spaces, in different forms, and especially in marriage. Because the nice thing, Guti, all of it is in marriage. Gonke
yes.
is in marriage. But then how it all equals or amounts to, or the outcome is so different. And that's the
Very
beauty.
true.
So from my side, thank you for everyone who joined, who commented. Please do
Yes. Mwah, mwah. A big shout out to Uslenda, Umpo. My goodness, our social worker Istandra said to every single person from the north, south, east, west who came through. Sbongega Kulu, our sister, our queen, Anna Clitter. Oh, she's such a darling. She's been sharing the live, she's been commenting, she's been following, she's been out here doing the most. Usimpiwe Yenkosi, our social worker all the way in Swaziland, she's like dying to get a hold of the book. Because she's like, yay, nami ngiyayifuna Nkosi yami. Lala Joy, thank you, Lala Joy, for coming through all the way from Usema Melody. Thank you so much, my queenship. We really, really appreciate you. And each and every single person. LaShawn, thank you for coming through. We've still got people who are joining. Naz, leso sikhathi siyavalelisa. We, Nkosi yami. Siyabonga. Uslenda uthi, we love you too. I learned a lot from this session. So yabona my queen, it can't just be a once off.
Yeah.
Series siyahlangana futhi. Same time, same place tomorrow. I mean next week Friday, right?
Next week Friday, yes. Next week
After Bloma business development.
Yes,
Po, po,
please
po,
do
po.
tune in. And yes, tomorrow also Anatleta Anasi is having her show. The morning riser for Saturday.
Yes,
So last week I was
I'm
there.
so excited.
So
I
tomorrow
hope there's no
8
load
to
shedding
10.
on my side because your ear young poka while I was listening. But I made a plan, you know, we always connect for our queens. We make a plan. No maganjan. No load shedding formed against us shall prosper.
Exactly. So please also do send me some BMs, I'll follow back, ask questions. It's always so nice to hear from everyone. And have a great and safe and loving weekend. Love yourself, love on yourself, love your family, love your loved ones, and just have a relaxed weekend. Yeah.
My
So
queen,
that's
before
it for me.
Uhamba, you know there are people who paint marriage in a very bad way. Please, can you paint a beautiful picture ngoba when you're living happily ever after? Ngicela nje ube ile ndlovukazi egquselela abantu young people, that encourages young people ukuthi no, you can have your happily ever after Mntase. Don't listen to other people's bad experiences, you know. Please just encourage ufafaze ihope lapho kwabantu abasha who have not been married, those who are divorced, who are heartbroken, those who are hoping to try again. Yabona nje. Ngicela nje uthi word of encouragement, my queen.
You know, for me, I think love is such a beautiful thing, and to experience it and grow as an individual in it and within that love is such a blessing. It's such a blessing, and I think everyone needs to it needs to open yourself up for that. And whether it's healing that needs to happen before you get to there, do the work. You know, I know a lot of people always ask me, hey, what was wrong? And I was like, no, there was nothing wrong. I was in love. You know, I was in love. And
Yes.
people ask me, so you married? And I'm like, I'm very married.
And you're still in
for
love.
it.
You are still
And I'm
very
still,
much in love.
yes. And people ask me like, okay, so you do all these things, but then why do you have to worry? And especially because I'm in the business space and in the positions that I occupy. And then they'll be like, but then why do you have to in a blah, blah? Then I always tell them, Guti, you know what? Minus everything that you see me doing, marriage and love is the easiest.
Yes.
It's the easiest. And I'm very intentional about it. So
Yes.
I will definitely, I won't lie and ngizame ukuthi no, this and this. Yes, it's a bit on my background. When I got married, I wanted to, you know, ngibe the advice. I want advice. I wanted to be this. And then my husband was like, what I love is you.
Yes.
So I just want to change who you are. you know.
Popo, popo.
Yes, and he was like,
Let's give him his flowers. Yes.
yes. And he taught me that, Guti, love the person as they grow, as you learn
Yes.
and unlearn yourself, them, but then leave that room and that space to, you know, to be like, actually, you know, you're my buddy. You're my ride and die.
Yes.
But
Forever
that is
mine. Yes.
so please do open yourselves up. And if you've been hurt, it's not to say, Guti, that's the end. You know, there's always
Yes.
looking forward. Yeah. And that's it from my side for today.
And that's
Ngiyabonga.
the beauty. You can always start over and write a beautiful beginning, a new chapter, a new journey, you know? Thank you,
Yeah.
my queen, for hosting us. We love and appreciate you lots. Please do enjoy the rest of your evening. Love and light to the family. Siyabulela kakhulu. And we look forward to catching our queen sister and our Klissa. Simsapoten lapha kuBlomanati Radio. Please go through to my posts that I posted today. The link is there. Download the Zeno app. Click on the link, live stream. And it's at 8 a.m. now.
Yes, 8 to 10.
Perfect. Perfect time. 8 to 10. Let's go and support our queen sister. Come through, come through, come through. And then you'll catch us again when Sunday. Hey, we're going to have our sisterhood live.
Oh, yes. On Sunday, we're going to have our sisterhood. Yes. Yeah, Sunday. So I think we'll stay.
Yes, it is. This is after the fix because the fix is loaded. 9 a.m. guys, please set your alarms. Please tune into the fix with myself on Blomanat Radio. We have got Ikawele Mikete, our brother Pyramid. He's going to be flying all the way through from Durban to our Soweto studios. Sipeta Nomfundisi, hey, Prophet November. He's going to be coming through all the way from Lesotho via going to preach at his church in Bloemfontein. He's making a stop at Soweto. Hey, siyathanda Nkosi yami, we feel so special. Sihamba namadoda emadodeni. So please don't miss it. Make sure you set your alarm 5 minutes to 9 a.m. Join us. Be there. Be square. I've pinned the posts. Please retweet, reshare, throw kuma WhatsApp status wenu memani wonke umuntu, and let's all learn and grow. You know, we're all about love and light. But from me to all of you, lots and lots of love. Ngiyabonga kakhulu, my beautiful host, for holding it down, regardless of network challenges. We really, really appreciate you. No Queen, way to our coach Makabo in her absence. Love and light to all of you. Have a beautiful, fabulous Friday further and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Sinithanda nonke emakhaya.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.